Did you just get your brand new French horn case from Wiseman, but you want to know how to put it together? This video is for you. What's going on, everyone? JT the Horn Hippie here, and today I'm going to show you how to put together your Wiseman case and how to put your horn inside it for the very first time. So I've had this case for a few years now, and I love this case because it's very lightweight, it is very secure, it holds my horn in perfect place. This case is not for every single horn. My Lewis is pretty tight in here, but my Bergs and my Con 8D all fit inside this perfectly. Let's open it up. There are clasps on the top and on the bottom that we're going to undo first. Lay the case flat and open it thusly. So in here, you can see we have a few pieces of foam. We have some high visibility straps that we can replace. If you find yourself doing a lot of gigs at nighttime and you're walking around, I highly recommend these high visibility Velcro straps. So first thing you're gonna do is take off the leather ones, put them up to the side, and then you're just going to place down the high visibility like this, and do that on the top and the bottom. And just like you would a little sticker, you just put it on there. Boop. I like the kind of bougie leather look, and so I'm going to put that on. And so you just rip that up, rip that off of the Velcro, and attach the leather. Okay. This is what my case looks like here. I have mute storage right here and here. Big felt cover. Always put this down before putting your bell inside. Inside here, we have where the body of the horn is going to fit. Now, each Wiseman horn case comes with a replacement piece of leather. You can see the difference here. This one is for smaller instruments like a Con 8D. And this one's for a little bit larger gyre wrap style horn. To replace these, you can see there's Velcro on the bottom side. You simply take it off and then put the correct one on, making sure that it's aligned with the top of the case rim here. Boom. So the case pieces go flat together like that. A good way to tell what piece you need for your case is to take your horn, take it and put it down to the side here. And if this angle lines up, you're good to go. Now, if I had tried to put that here, it would have tilted my horn pretty severely to that side. And you see how I'm already kind of like bunching up here? We don't want that. We want the horn to be suspended in the case. And so we want as much distance from each side as possible. And it all starts with that first insert. Inside this case, you can put music, mutes, pencils, mouthpieces. There's even a little pouch for oil right here. Let's talk about sheet music storage first, because that's what's gonna go inside the case before you put your horn in. So you're gonna have two straps of Velcro down here. You're also gonna have this little kind of like dummy strip, which just has soft on one side. And what we're gonna do with that, we're gonna keep this one in place. See how this is attached to like the velvet side over here? We are going to place this just about like, like a quarter of an inch down. See, like this. And then we're gonna place, this is gonna be the end that sticks onto the case itself. So we're gonna place that. I might actually take this off to get a little bit better grip. And we are going to place it as centered as possible right there. And then replace this section. And when you're ready to pack up, start with your music first and put it in like this. And there's a little space underneath this side for sheet music. That's also how you can tell which side is which. And then gently fold it there, and we're good. Let's put our horn in this. I'm actually gonna take some of these out so that I can show you. I'm trying to see if I need to take this out. Where the mouthpiece is gonna go, I actually have an additional square to keep the lead pipe really secure right there. And it's like double foam. So I put the lead pipe down on this one, and so it's doubly protected from impact. You can see on this side, there's an opening, and that's where the top part of our horn is going to rest. And we are going to put the lead pipe in first, like that. and make sure it's nice and secure there. And then we're gonna put the horn, we're gonna nestle it right down here. So the purpose of this case is really to suspend the horn as much as possible, to get it as far away from the sides of the case as possible, to absorb as much shock as possible. You can see I'm touching the sides of the case with this in here. I'm touching with the handguard here, and a little bit with the lead pipe over here. We're going to take it out, start taking these foam inserts. So you can see there's a different like sloped edge to these, and that corresponds to which side of the case it's gonna fit best on. There's like two identical pieces that are like sloped the same way. Like this. See how they have a little bit of a different slope. And so they're gonna fit inside the case like this to hold the horn up right here. So I'm just gonna put these about where I think the horn should go. Maybe right here. Y'all see that? And then I'm gonna test it by inserting the horn like I would to close the case. All right, so it's a little tight. And now I'm gonna turn for you guys. So, and where we're hitting first, it's this one here. So I'm gonna take my horn out a little bit, and we're going to shimmy that down a little. It's a lot of trial and error with this case, but it's completely custom to your horn. Okay, I'm pushing too much. It's giving too much resistance, so let's move it up a little bit. And there we go. Now that is really nice and snug. Now we're gonna place the second one. Try putting that kind of in the same area, right about there. And then put the horn in. Okay, much better. Oh, that's much better. So then I'm going to actually just like manipulate the foam around here to where it's gonna be a little bit more snug on the side of the horn. Just kind of get it a little bit nicer looking there. So you can see, these are like, they're different levels. They're not gonna be cookie cutter. That's the one thing about this case. It's gonna be very, very custom, and you're gonna have to experiment a little bit with where things go, how things fit. So now the horn is looking good. I want to put foam on this side now because I can feel that the handguard is resting against the side of the case. So we're gonna take that out, and we're gonna just see like which one works well. It's gonna be this one. Right there. And I put it up against the side of the case right there, and then, okay, it's a little too high. It's a little too high. You can see a gap right here. So now we're gonna put it a little lower. Yes, okay. You can hear the Velcro trying to work against me. That's a pretty good sign. It means you're doing something right. It means you're getting the horn in a good position. Man, it is so snug and secure. I love this. I love that. I'm also gonna push this first slide all the way in before we try to close. So let's experiment and close and see how that works. Pretty snug. That's really snug. That's working great. I feel like I want a little more protection over here, but I actually don't think it's necessary. There are no points where the horn is touching the sides of the case right now. I think maybe this side could be a little higher, so I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. Tiny little bit. One of the hard parts is just like getting the horn like low enough here, like the bell flare down enough. There we go. And for a little bit of added peace of mind and protection, I am gonna put this insert underneath the horn here, even though we don't really need it. I'm gonna take it out one more time. Let's just put this down here. You never know, right? Then let's put it down here. The more you use it, the better the foam will be. Like the more the foam will get used to holding the horn, and it'll go in a little bit easier. Just making sure that's completely pressed down right here. That's like the most important part. It balances the instrument inside the case. Make sure this foam piece is aligned so that it will close right over on top of that other side of the bell flare. Now this is like a support component of the case, and I like to keep it right there. It's to keep the handguard in place, and you just want to make sure that it's aligned with the handguard. So we just put it down like that. Boom. Easy. On this bell flare section, there are 3 little holes, and that's where your mouthpiece is gonna go. So you just put your mouthpiece in like that. Make sure that there is another this foam piece across from it, so that the mouthpiece won't go anywhere when you try to close the case. Now let's put our bell inside the case. In your case, you'll see this section with like 2 little grooves in this triangle section. You wanna make sure that the grooves are facing up, because this is where we're going to put our bell. So I'm gonna put it there and attach it to the Velcro on this side. So once those grooves are in the correct spot, when you're putting your horn together, you can put the bell in the grooves, and it kind of holds the bell in place while you take the rest of your horn apart. So this big velvet strap, very important because it protects the horn from getting dented by the bell. And we're going to stick the Velcro side on this side of the case, right by the pinky ring. And there's another piece of Velcro over here that you can stick to the side, but this horn is a little too big for this. The Lewis is too big for this case. Not another crash out vid from the horn hippie.
So you guys can see what it looks like with the correct horn. Look here how the velvet cover is over the body of the horn and the bell is resting on top.
Then, very important step, hold that over, fold it down, and then put the bell on like this. And it should be pretty snug here. And we want to put this other velvet square where we know the bell is going to hit on the other side of the case. So we're gonna put it like that and then close it up like this. So unfortunately, I thought this would work, but it appears that the Lewis bells are too large, too tall this way to fit inside the Wiseman case. So I'm going to play pretend, and we're going to pretend I have a bell there. The thing is, always make sure that this velvet side is down, and our bell's gonna sit here nice and easy. I like to have this little guard piece right here because we're gonna have a mute on the other side. So there's a lot of these extra straps, and you can use this. You can do this with a stop mute, or you can do this with a regular straight mute. I just fasten it in with a little seatbelt like that. And then, where's my other mute? And then you could do the same thing on the other side. Would it store 2 full mutes and a bell? Yes, it should. It actually should. See how I have like all these extra straps just kind of tied into the case over here? We're gonna make a super long mute storage strap right here, right now. So it goes like that and like that. And you can tighten it to your heart's content. All right, so pretend there's a bell here. If you have a Lewis horn though, this case might not fit. The bell is just a little too tall. However, this case does fit my Berg, and I left the Berg at home, but I'm still committed to making this video for you guys. So when you're ready to close the case, make sure everything is secure, and make sure this Velcro's on, make sure the bell is secure and nestled into these little sides, these little corners. And then we close the case. And fasten top and bottom. You are ready to rock. Let me know what kind of horn you have in the comments below and if it fit inside this case. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.